is up, you mother lovers? It's Rage. As the title says, we're gonna be making some easy roast beef. Or beef roast. Yeah, beef roast. Roast beef is something else. Like what Arby's has. Um, so this is gonna be pretty simple. Uh, gonna take even less work, really, than the tacos I made yesterday. All you really need. Alright, so super easy to make. All you need is your your beef roast, which I have seasoned using seasoning salt, paprika, and some regular salt. You are gonna want to get a instant pot, crock pot, pressure cooker, uh, roast packet of spices, and then obviously, uh, you're gonna. You don't have to, but if you want a more full meal and to make it last longer, you're gonna want carrots and potatoes. We typically add the potatoes and carrots in about an hour before it's completely done, maybe closer to 2 hours. Um, because if you put the carrots and potatoes in too soon, by the time it's all done, they're basically be mush. Like if you try and stab a potato with a fork, it'll just break in half really easy. Same with the carrots. So for a easier time eating, and so your vegetables don't disintegrate into the sauce, adding the potatoes and carrots in second, right before the end is advised. Up to you how you prefer your carrots and potatoes, but that's just how we do it. Um, so typically you want to season your roast probably about an hour before you're actually ready to put it in the crock pot. This gives it time for the seasoning to penetrate the meat a little bit. I personally typically stab all my beef with a fork, so that way the spices can get in all the little holes that you poked in the meat, and hopefully create a more flavorful food, which is what I did with the roast. And you're gonna need your crock pot. We typically put it on high. That's how we cook it. It cooks it faster, obviously, than having it on low. And if you know anything about cooking with a crock pot, the meals typically take many hours to make and be ready. So, like on the seasoning packet, it says cook for 8 hours on low or 4 hours on high. And obviously, having to wait 8 hours to get your meal is pretty frustrating. I don't know about you guys, but waiting 8 hours for my food to be done is a little absurd, so we cook it on high. And it's really easy. All you do, you put the roast. Let me put this down here. Let's see. You can see we have the crock pot preheating, so it's already pretty hot. Take the lid off. You're gonna bring your roast over, and you're gonna put it in. And that's already like 1/3 of everything you need to do. The next thing you're gonna want to do, add a cup of water. Let's see, is this our cup? Yes, it is. You're gonna get your cup of water. You're gonna put it in there. And just like before, I'm actually going to add a little bit more than the instructions, simply so when we add the carrots and potatoes, they can be mostly covered. And a lot of this is going to evaporate and thicken up a little bit over the 4 hours that you're cooking it. Grab your spice mix and open it. Ooh. And you're just going to dump it in there. And that's literally about half of all you need to do. And it's on high. So put the lid on. Make sure you don't forget to put the straps or whatever you want to call these, so that way it creates an airtight seal. And voila! That's literally all you have to do, really, until you decide to add your vegetables. And once that happens, you're going to want to cut up some potatoes and put in a bag of carrots. Alright, so it's been about 2.5 hours or so, and it's time to add your vegetables. I use baby carrots and regular old potatoes as my vegetables. I'm sure that there are other vegetables you can use if you don't want to use potatoes or carrots. For the carrots, I leave them whole, since I like knowing that I have a carrot in my stew. I think carrots are nice and sweet, and if you cut them even in half, a lot of the times you can end up losing the flavor. And for potatoes, any old potato will do. I personally love Yukon Gold. I think they're the most flavorful, but regular white potatoes works as well. Idaho potatoes. Don't forget to rinse and wash your potatoes as well as you can, so that way they're not super dirty. Alright, now that you're done cutting up your potatoes, time to open your bag of carrots. Depending on how much liquid you have, you can use half a bag, a full bag, really up to you. So now that we have the bag open for the carrots and our chopped potatoes, you're gonna go ahead and remove the lid of your crock pot, being careful not to burn yourself. And then you can just dump your vegetables in there. And debatably, I think I'm only going to use half a bag of carrots, about, and call that good. Probably closer to like 2/3 of the bag. Try and make sure that your vegetables are in the submerged as much as possible. And obviously, it's better if they're all submerged as well as you can get it, but due to the way the crock pot works, even if they're not submerged, they will get cooked by the steam. And now you just let it cook for another hour 30-ish, or until the vegetables are done and the roast is cooked all the way through. And then after 4-5 hours, depending on how thorough you want to be, you get something that looks like this. And it's so nice and tender. I was literally able to use the plastic spatula from earlier to just rip it in half. Like, so tender. And that's an easy, delicious meal that can last you for days. And you can obviously make it multiple times if you want. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification to get notified when I go live or release a video. It really helps me out and makes me more motivated to continue streaming and making YouTube videos and stuff like that. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Peace.